At the top of the screen, of course, you see the various menus and buttons that give you access to functions of the program. Some of these probably look familiar, like the File and Edit menus and the New and Open buttons, while others pertain to specific functions in the Acid Pro application. You'll learn about some of these in this lesson and others in other sections on this DVD. Below the buttons you see the timeline. This is where you'll do most of your work in Acid Pro. Position your mouse somewhere within the dark gray area of the timeline and click. Notice that a flashing vertical line appears at the click point. We call this line the project cursor, and it represents your current edit point. Click in other locations to see that you can place the cursor wherever you want it in the timeline. At the upper left corner of the timeline, you see your current cursor position expressed in two different manners. The number on the left displays the position in time measured as hours, minutes, seconds, and fractions of a second. The number on the right displays the position in musical measures, beats, and ticks. Click at another location in the timeline and notice that these two numbers change to reflect the new cursor position. These time displays make it easy to instantly find the exact location of your project cursor, and you'll use that information much more often than you might initially think you will. Also notice the beat ruler just above the dark gray timeline area. This ruler provides another tool that you can use to learn your exact position in a project. The track list, the area to the left of the timeline, just below the time displays, will contain information about the individual tracks in your project as you build it. You'll use the controls below the timeline and track list in just a few moments, and I'll explain them then. The bottom half of the screen, called the window docking area, currently contains two visible windows. The Explorer window on the left works just like Windows Explorer, and you'll use it to navigate your computer drives to locate the media files that you want to use to build your project. To the right of the Explorer, the Mixer window contains meters and faders with which you'll visually monitor and then adjust the volume of your project as you work. We'll talk more about these windows as we work through this lesson. Before we move on to making a bit of music, let's talk about workspace customization. You can close and reopen any of the windows in the window docking area. For instance, click the Close button on the Mixer window now to close the window. Now choose View, Mixer to reopen the window, and you see it reappears in the same spot it occupied before you closed it. Click the View menu again, and without choosing anything, just take a look at the various windows that you can open from here. If you ever want to use a window but can't find it, come here to the View menu and choose the window from the list. Any window can also be torn from the window docking area and placed anywhere on your computer screen or on another monitor in a dual monitor setup. To tear the Mixer window from the window docking area, drag the window by the 6 vertical dots. When you see the title bar appear, release the mouse button. Now, to redock the window, drag it by the title bar into the window docking area. When the title bar disappears, release the mouse button and the window docks. Windows can be docked one on top of another so that they occupy the same space within the window docking area. In this case, you'll see tabs under the visible window. For instance, notice the Media Manager and Groove Pool tabs below the Explorer window. Click the Groove Pool tab to make the Groove Pool the visible window. Click the Media Manager tab. Don't worry yet about the functions of those windows. At this point, just realize that to make a covered window visible, click its tab. Click the Explorer tab now to bring the Explorer window forward again. Finally, drag the separator bar between windows to change the size of the windows. For example, to give the timeline more space, drag the separator line between it and the window docking area down. Drag it back to make the timeline more its normal size. Of course, you notice that as you make one of the windows larger, you make the other smaller. This same technique works for windows within the window docking area, and in some cases, like the Explorer window, even separate areas within a single window, as well as the track list and timeline windows.